Welcome, everyone. Today, we are not talking about tools, hype, or shortcuts. We are talking about how artificial intelligence is actually managed in the real world. Exactly. This masterclass focuses on PMI-ACP, a framework designed for professionals who want to move beyond experimentation and start delivering real business value with AI. If you've seen AI projects fail, stall, or lose executive support, this session will explain why and how to avoid it. Artificial intelligence is everywhere today, but most AI projects still fail, and it is rarely because of the technology. The real issue is management. Too many AI initiatives remain as pilots, demos, or isolated experiments. PMI-ACP shows how to transform AI into a structured, value-driven initiative. We will also clarify why business alignment, data readiness, and responsible AI now define success. Let's talk about the real problem behind most AI failures. And it is important to be very clear here. The issue is not that the models are weak, outdated, or technically incorrect. In fact, many AI models work perfectly well in isolation. The problem appears when organizations try to move from experimentation to real execution. Most AI initiatives fail because the project itself is poorly managed. There is often no clear business objective, no defined ownership, and no agreement on what success actually means. Without structured governance, AI efforts turn into disconnected experiments. Different teams build different models, use different data, and optimize for different metrics without a shared direction. This leads to a very common situation. AI looks impressive in demos, but it never scales. It never reaches production in a reliable way, and it never delivers measurable ROI. And when executives do not see clear value, trust disappears quickly. Budgets are cut, teams are reorganized, and AI becomes labeled as risky or unreliable. This is where the new reality becomes clear. The value of AI today no longer depends on how clever the prompt is or how advanced the model looks. It depends on how AI is managed. Successful organizations combine technical capability with structured AI project management. They define objectives early, manage risks intentionally, and treat data, models, and deployment as part of a single, coherent initiative. That is why companies are now shifting away from the idea of prompt experts. What they need are AI managers and leaders who can connect technology to business outcomes. And this shift is exactly what PMI-ACP was designed to support. At this point, it is important to clearly understand why PMI-ACP exists. This framework was created to solve a very specific problem, the gap between AI experimentation and real execution. For years, organizations have been running pilots, proofs of concept, and isolated AI initiatives. Many of them look impressive, but very few reach production or deliver sustained value. PMI-ACP addresses this by providing a structured end-to-end approach to managing AI initiatives. It starts with business understanding and continues all the way through deployment, monitoring, and continuous improvement. The core objective is to help organizations treat AI as a strategic business capability, not as a side experiment owned only by data science teams, and not as a collection of disconnected tools. That means AI initiatives must be aligned with business strategy from the beginning. There must be a clear value hypothesis, defined success metrics, and an understanding of risks and constraints. Another key objective is scalability. PMI-ACP helps teams move beyond one-off successes and build AI solutions that can scale across processes, users, and environments. It also emphasizes responsible management of data and models. Decisions about data quality, bias, explainability, and governance are treated as management responsibilities, not technical afterthoughts. Finally, PMI-ACP focuses on trust and sustainability. AI solutions must be ethical, transparent, and compliant, and they must continue to deliver value over time, not just at launch. In short, the objective of PMI-CP-AI is simple but powerful: to make AI manageable, measurable, and sustainable in real business environments. Now, let's clarify the scope of PMI-CP-AI, because this is where many people misunderstand what the framework actually covers. PMI-CP-AI is not limited to model development or data science activities. It defines how AI initiatives should be planned, governed, developed, and operationalized across their entire lifecycle. This means AI is treated as a business capability, not as a technical project that starts and ends with a model. The scope begins with business-driven AI initiatives. Before any data is collected or any model is selected, teams must clearly understand the business problem, the value hypothesis, and the success criteria. From there, PMI-CP-AI covers data and model lifecycle management. This includes data readiness, model development, evaluation, deployment, monitoring, and continuous improvement. Importantly, the framework emphasizes that models do not end at deployment. They must be monitored for performance, drift, bias, and ongoing relevance to the business. The third part of the scope is responsible and governed AI. This includes ethics, transparency, compliance, and accountability. PMI-CP-AI makes it clear that governance is not an afterthought. It is built into every phase of the AI lifecycle. Taken together, this scope ensures scalability, accountability, and real-world impact, which are exactly the elements missing in most failed AI initiatives. In short, PMI-CP-AI defines not what AI can do, but how organizations should manage AI to succeed. This is a critical moment in the masterclass, because many people still believe that AI success starts with choosing the right tool or the most advanced algorithm. CPMI takes a very different position. It does not start with tools. It starts with decisions. Tools only make sense when they support a clearly defined business objective. Let's start with machine learning. In CPM-AI, machine learning is used when there is real value in finding patterns, making predictions, or learning from historical data. That sounds obvious, but in practice, many teams use machine learning simply because it is popular. PMI-CPMI forces teams to ask a harder question. Does learning from data actually improve the outcome we care about? If the answer is no, then machine learning is not the right choice, no matter how advanced the model looks. Now let's talk about intelligent automation. This goes far beyond traditional RPA. RPA automates repetitive tasks. Intelligent automation combines automation with decision logic and AI, managed as part of an end-to-end business process. From a CPMI perspective, the key challenge is not automation itself, it is governance. Who owns the process, how decisions are made, and how exceptions are handled. The third category is perception systems, such as computer vision. These systems interpret images, video, or signals from the real world. They can be extremely powerful, but also very risky if data quality, bias, and operational conditions are not properly managed. That is why CPM-AI treats perception systems as high-impact, high-risk components that require strong controls and clear accountability. And this brings us to the most important message of this slide. CPM-AI does not teach tools in isolation. It teaches how to select the right techniques, govern their use, and manage them responsibly across the full AI lifecycle. Because in real organizations, success is not defined by the tool you use, but how well that tool is managed over time. This slide covers one of the most underestimated areas in AI projects: data collection and pre-processing. And this is where many failures are silently created. In PMI-CP-AI, data collection is not treated as a technical activity. It is a management decision that directly impacts risk, cost, bias, and final outcomes. Most teams rush into modeling without fully understanding where their data comes from, how it was generated, or what limitations it carries. That is why PMI-CP-AI starts by clearly distinguishing primary data from secondary data. Primary data is the foundation. It comes directly from business processes, operational systems, sensors, or user interactions. This data has the highest impact on accuracy, relevance, and trust. But primary data also comes with responsibility. Teams must understand data quality, missing values, bias, privacy constraints, and how representative the data really is. Secondary data, on the other hand, adds context. It can enrich models, increase coverage, or accelerate development. However, secondary data introduces additional risks. Licensing, compliance, relevance to the business context, and hidden bias must be carefully evaluated. PMI-ACP emphasizes that pre-processing decisions are just as important as data collection itself. How data is cleaned, transformed, labeled, and aggregated directly affects model behavior and long-term maintainability. Before any model is built, teams must answer a critical question. Is this data fit for purpose? If the answer is unclear, PMI-ACP recommends stopping, reassessing, and fixing data issues before moving forward. Because once a model is trained on poor or misunderstood data, the cost of fixing mistakes increases dramatically. This is why strong data understanding and pre-processing are essential foundations for scalable, trustworthy AI. Now, let's talk about AI model development, where many teams believe the hard work really begins. But in CPM AI, model development is not just about building something that works. It is about building the right model for the right purpose. The first step is model selection. This is a strategic decision, not a technical preference. Teams must choose models based on business constraints, data availability, explainability needs, risk tolerance, and deployment context. A more complex model is not always better. In many cases, simpler models deliver more stable and trustworthy results. Then comes model training. This is where data quality truly reveals itself. Training is not a one-time activity. It involves iteration, tuning, validation, and constant collaboration between technical and business stakeholders. In CPM AI, stresses the importance of traceability. Teams must understand how training data, parameters, and assumptions influence outcomes. Finally, we reach model evaluation, and this goes far beyond accuracy. Evaluation must consider bias, robustness, performance across different scenarios, and alignment with business success metrics. Only when a model meets both technical and business criteria is it ready to move forward. In CPM AI, model development is a disciplined, transparent process designed to reduce risk and enable scale. This topic, it's about impact, because this is where AI projects either prove their value or quietly fail. AI only creates real impact when it is aligned with business goals, properly governed, and continuously measured over time. One of the first outcomes organizations expect is increased operational efficiency. That means reducing manual work, optimizing processes, and enabling teams to focus on higher value activities rather than repetitive tasks. Another key impact is improved customer experience. When AI is designed around real user needs, it enables faster responses, more consistent service, and experiences that feel relevant rather than generic. AI also enhances decision-making. Instead of relying on intuition alone, leaders gain access to data-driven insights that support better, faster, and more confident decisions. And finally, data-driven personalization allows organizations to move from one-size-fits-all solutions to tailored interactions. PMI-CPM emphasizes that these impacts do not come from isolated technical wins, but from AI initiatives managed as sustainable business capabilities. Impact is not about deploying AI once. It's about creating value that lasts.